Welcome back to the 52 Weeks to Wealth. My name is Walter Morello. We've been traveling through this journey of building wealth to double your income, increase your net worth, double your net worth. Wealth Principle 18, only deliver the highest quality services and constantly improve. Hands to the camera if you were here last year to watch Wealth Principle 18, Season 2. Excellent. What about Season 1? Who was here for Season 1? Been here for the last 3 years. Awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. Dedication to the cause. Dedication to your net worth increasing. Hands to the camera if your net worth has increased over the last 2 years, over the last 2 and 3 years, if your net worth has gone ridiculous because of the principles you're applying from these calls. Now, a lot of people have asked me, where do the wealth principles come from? Are they legitimate? Are they real? Well, the wealth principles were designed from other people. They're wealth principles. They're all over the universe. I've read over 400 books on personal development, success, building yourself up. But when I was in Vegas, I had dozens of notebooks that I took with me. I threw them all in the trunk. I took a few key books, took my foundational 5 books. So if you don't know what they are, you go to alchemistnation.com and check them out. Everything I'd written all my little notes down on, and I threw them in the car, and I drove out to Vegas. I spent about 3 months breaking down all my notes, and I consolidated them all to about 105, 112 different principles. And I realized 112 was going to be too many principles for me to actually keep track of and apply, unless I did maybe 2 per week. But what I wanted was something that I could apply in my business. I wanted something that I could come back and just constantly be improving one at a time, really going super deep on it. And we broke it down, and I started adding some of the principles. This is one of them. This is a principle that got combined with another principle, and this was only deliver the highest quality of services. That was principle 1. And then the other principle was constantly improve your products and services. Hands to camera if you can see how I combined them. Only deliver the best quality and constantly improve. So Wealth Principle 18 comes from a space of, how do I sell? Who here knows they have to sell something? Who is in sales of some sort? How do I sell something? How do I find the product to sell? The product may not be perfect right now. This is the point. It may not be the ultimate perfect product, but it should be the best product you could find. In order to sell something, you got to believe in it. You got to be a buyer of it. And in order to build wealth, you've got to own stuff that is valuable. Hands to the camera if you're a real estate investor. Own some real estate investors. Throw those hands to that camera. Awesome. Hands to the camera if you're a business owner. Own a business that you're constantly improving. Awesome. Those 2 assets go up in value, and they're very consistent. There are other asset classes like stocks or crypto. Those are paper assets, but still most of them are ownership of either a piece of real estate or a business. In the business side of things, man, you can make a lot of money just by improving your product just a little bit and charging a little bit more. Who's seen that before? An improved product, they charge a little more and suddenly they're making more money. In real estate, it's even easier. Raise the rents, the value of the property goes up instantaneously just by increasing the rents. You go and turn a tenant or turn a unit, the rents go up, and now you're able to pay, receive more in your business. That's from improving the quality of the product. Who has ever done a flip? What my real estate investors ever done a flip before? Talk about taking a terrible product, doing a little conversion, improving it, and then selling it to somebody because it's just a little bit better. Our profit margins are 30% on that, 30, 40%. Who here's made more than 100,000 a real estate flip in the past? Excellent. Who's made more than 50,000? Who's made more than 50,000 on a flip in the past? Was it more than 20,000 on a flip? What about a wholesale deal? Has anybody ever done a wholesale deal made more than $5,000, $10,000 profit? Wholesalers? All right. So what did we do in a wholesale deal? How do we improve the product? We improved its positioning in the marketplace. The wholesaler signing that contract, nobody knew about the deal. This is why wholesalers make money. It's because they've improved positioning in the marketplace. Now more people know about the deal. The more people who know about it, the more you pay for. Who's seen on MLS? You can't find deals that are good deals because everybody knows about it and they're paying more. Who's seen the MLS is super hot? That's because more people know about those deals. Real estate agents have done really great positioning on those properties. But really, the MLS has done a great positioning by putting the visibility of the entire market all at anybody's fingertips. China can buy property in real estate. India can buy property in real estate because it's online. Just click, submit a contract, send the purchase and sale, and it's done. In your business, it is the same exact thing that we do in real estate. You want to constantly be improving your products, constantly be improving your system, constantly improving your team. Who here has team members that they train, they work with? Anybody team members? Constantly improving your team members is going to constantly improve your product, your overall product that you're delivering. Now, why is it important to improve? We shared that just now. It's about increasing income, but how do we improve? How do we take some of the things that we've done and make them better? I'll give you an example of something we're doing right now in Alchemist Nation so that you can implement it in your business. We're going to do an action step just like we do every single week. We're going to apply this wealth principle into your life, into your world so that you can go and maximize it, so that you can bring a better return on investment for yourself, your family, and your community. Hands to the camera if you're doing it for more than just yourself. You don't just make the money for the sake of making money, right? Even though I say it, we're on a mission to build 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires. So we sound like we're all about money, but what do you do with the money? What do you do once you have that extra 10,000 a month? Or for some people, it's, you know, 120,000 a year. What are you going to do with it? You're probably going to invest some, right? Hands to the camera if you'd invest some. You would invest all of it, wouldn't you? I see Melanie on the call. It's like, I've invested all, bro. Like, what else would I do with the money? I just keep pile driving. It just keeps growing. Some of you would spend time with your family, extra time. Maybe you would quit your job. You would spend more time with your family if you didn't have to work. Some of you would send that money to your kids, send them to better colleges, or go on vacations. Whatever you decide to do with the money, that's entirely your choice. But I think you should start with $1 million. I really do think that's a good place to start. It's a good foundation. It's a good spot. It's harder to get there than you think, and it's easier to get there than you think. I'll tell you, anybody, where are my millionaires at? Hands to camera if you're a millionaire, if you made $1 million, own $1 million, have a net worth of $1 million, or thinking $1 million. So just think about before you had that million. You didn't know. You didn't know how easy it was going to be, right? You thought it was going to be impossible. Thought it was going to be really hard, but you went after it anyway. Hands to the camera if that first million was harder than you thought, easier than you thought. If it was both, absolutely. For me, it took me a lot longer than I expected, but it also happened much faster than my family expected. For this wealth principle, I want to focus 100% on the money side of things. I do want to focus on how important it is for your family. I want how important it is for your clients, but on the money side of things, if you're not improving your clients' product, the service they're getting, they're not going to pay you, right, Ryan? Like, Ryan's a financial planner. He gets it. He has to be better than everybody else, reposition himself. His product is better in order to get paid. We know that we have to do a better product for customer service, right? We have that internally. We always want to do a better product because, you know, it's better for the community, it's better for your people, but you also have to do a better product, improve your product so that you can have more money, so that you can improve your product, so that you can have more money, so you can improve your product again. The money side is necessary for product improvement. Who here has a product that money would help improve? Like, you know, you have a product that you could improve with some money. Anybody? Yeah, we all do, right? Like, it would help pay for a better contractor. It would help pay for better quality countertops put into the units. A little more money would help us improve the product itself. So we run into this conundrum often with, well, I really want to make my product better because that's human nature. We always want to have the best product. Nobody goes out there and says, I'm going to sell a crap product. If they are, don't hang out with those people, by the way. If you know anybody who's just like, I'm selling garbage, I'm cool with selling garbage, I love selling garbage, stop hanging out with those people unless they're like trash emitter and they're selling the removal of garbage, which I'm okay with BFI and those companies that are cleaning up the cities. But if somebody's just selling a terrible product, why are you hanging out with them? That could rub off on you. Only hang out with people who do things morally, ethically, and legally, and hang out with people who talk about money. Hang out with people who want to see your money go up, who want to see you do well, who want to see you earn. Now, you understand the importance of money for improving your product. What is the importance of having a great product? Is you got to sell something. We're in sales. I can't sell something that isn't a beautiful product. So we started working with the mentorship years ago. We started selling the mentorship training program. Hands to the camera if you've been through the mentorship, if you've been through a training product that we produce on some level. Hands to the camera if you've been to other people's training products, you've been to other courses, other programs, and there was a difference, right? There's a difference between what we do because you see us constantly improving. I'm saying that, so hands to the camera if that's been true. Have you noticed the difference from other people's programs? Just my personal assessment. I'm very biased. And the difference is that every single month, every single week, I jump on a call with the coaches and we're always asking, how can we improve? What can we tweak? What can we do better? Where is the community at? What are their challenges? What are they facing? And what can we add? Who can we bring in? What topic can we talk about? An example of improvement would be the way the mentorship was previously was 8 weeks. It was 8 weeks. It was a jumpstart call. You jumped in, and in the beginning, you got to have a conversation with a coach. And then we start adding, you can have one conversation with each coach. And then we start adding and saying, you have one conversation with each coach. We're going to add all these online training components. And you actually get to have access. The first year was access to the 100 Millionaire Summit for free. That was how we structured it and set it up. Then we had to improve upon that. So we extended the program to a year, but we increased the price. We extended it. We went from $1,000 to $2,000, increased the price. That year extension, everybody on this call who's been in the mentorship, you see their cameras on right now. That's because they went through a program and they said, yeah, I want to keep going. I want to stay with you. 52 Weeks to Wealth is an addition to what we're already doing with the mentorship, something that we already did. Now, a lot of people were already getting it, but what we added was before the 52 Weeks to Wealth. And this, by the way, this is a secret. So anybody on Facebook right now, you may or may not know about this, but the mentorship community does. We show up 20 minutes early, asking questions, sharing wins, talking about successes, like talking to the coaches, just hanging out with the coaches as an added value to everybody in the community, just to make sure that if somebody had a question, they can come and ask that question to a bunch of millionaires. Hands to camera if you can see how this product has continued to improve. It keeps getting better and better. We've got another one that just came out. It's something that we've talked about before, Get the Money. But Get the Money in the past was just me on stage saying, this is how you get the money. This is how you this is how you raise private capital. This is how you do commercial loans, how you do residential loans, how you do seller financing, creative financing. It was just me saying blah, 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 blah. We said, how do we improve? How do we get to the next level? First, I thought, why don't I bring in somebody who's raised $1 million? Why don't I bring in somebody who's raised not just $1 million? I've raised $1 million. I've raised $3 million. But why don't we bring somebody in who's raised over $100 million? I bring somebody in who's done it on a big scale, because the biggest problem with most investors, they don't believe it's possible for them. They don't believe it's possible. So let's solve that by bringing in somebody who's done something so big that the $1 million seems small. Now, hands to camera, $1 million seems small next to $100 million. It seems significantly smaller. So that 100,000 you need for your first deal seems even smaller compared to that 100 million that somebody else has gone out and raised. Surprise. Today at 12 o'clock, we're doing Get the Money. We're going to do it for about 3 hours. And at Get the Money, I've got Vinny Chopra coming in, and Vinny will be talking about, he'll be sharing how he raised $9 million in 9 days. Answer the camera if you could use those skills. If $9 million in 9 days is something you'd like to have. So Vinny's going to be talking about how he did that, what he set up in order to make sure that if he needed money, when he started texting me how he was doing, it was $7 million in 7 days. And then the next day he texted me and said, sorry, Walter, it's $8 million in 8 days. And then he texted me the next day and he said, oh, Walter, sorry, no, it's $9 million in 9 days. Just let everybody know now it's $9 million in 9 days. Hands to the camera if that's cool. That he texted me too soon. That's a form of improving a product that was already great. Every year we do Get the Money to teach our community how to raise capital, how to invest, how to make sure that money is never the objection. Oh, I can't invest because I don't have the money. We don't want to hear that. Right? Like, it's fine if you believe that and you don't want to be successful, but if you want to be successful, you can't believe that money is the challenge. You have to believe money is abundant. You have to know how to get the money to do a deal. And so money cannot be the objection. So at Get the Money, we're going to talk about how to raise all that private capital, how to get the money to do any deal or any business that you're interested in, how to raise that capital. But to improve it, I decided to take it to the next level. I committed, and Vinny said the same thing, because he and I were on a call Thursday, our abundance call. And Vinny said the same thing as me. He said, we're going to make sure that we stay on and answer every single question about raising capital. This way, everybody at the end of the call has a path to raise capital. This means that by the end of the call, there is impossible for there to be a single person sitting in the room who says, I don't have the money anymore. Hands to the camera if that's a powerful addition to a program that was already a powerful program. Wait till you hear the price. Most of you already know it's $97. Who knows? It's absolutely ridiculous. $97 is a ridiculous price to learn how to raise, even if all I taught you was how to raise $97. Would that be valuable? If I showed you how to make an extra raise $100 to pay for the course, would that be valuable? What about if I've taught you how to raise 100,000 or $250,000 or $500,000 or $1 million or $2 million, or in Vinny's case, he's going to show us how he raised $100 million. He's going to show us how he raised $9 million in 9 days. That's cool. What I just shared with you, what I just did was called positioning a product. I positioned a very valuable product that I continuously improved. I told you a story of that improvement, how it came to be, how we improved every step of the way. And we're going to now test a new product with the community with this next level of ask us any question. Literally ask us any question on your capital raising scenario so that you no longer have the money objection as the issue. Ask the camera if you could do this in your business. If you know you could do this in your business. If you just watch me reposition an old existing product and make it a new product, and people who've paid for Get the Money in the past will pay for Get the Money today because they have a new bonus, a new benefit, a new value add that's going to increase their likelihood of getting to that next level. Hence the camera if you know that's true, if you know that that's how it works. You don't have to change your product, but you do have to improve your product. You do have to constantly improve your product. And the only way you're going to improve your product is by asking people who've used your product in the past, how do I make it better? What would you have liked to see? What do you think would have made this an easier program for you to go through in our case? Or what do you think would have made this a better renovation in your house or in this apartment? What do you think would have gotten me more money on the market? Ask your realtors right after you do a renovation. What do you think would have gotten me more money? What do you think I could have done to improve? Unless, the only time this doesn't work is if you're going out of business. I see those furniture stores that are like always going out of business. I don't know what that is, but you don't want to always perpetually be going out of business. You want to, if you're going out of business, it's because you're selling the business, right? Wealth principle 34, we're not 33. Build your business to sell your business to get rich. We're not building our businesses to go out of style. We want to build our businesses to the point where we can sell them because they're so valuable that we can sell them for 3, 5, 10, 15 times what they earn in a year. And one of the reasons you'll see Ron and I talking a lot about the tech side of our business is because tech companies are valued at 15 to 25 times what they earn in a year. Restaurants, you'll never see Ron and I get involved in a restaurant business because restaurants are valued at 2.5 times what they earn in a year. Great cash flow businesses. And if you're already in them. Like Melanie's in the Subway business. It makes a lot of sense for Melanie because she earns the cash flow. But for Ron and I to get into it, too many barriers to entry, unless we had Melanie as a partner, in which case, Melanie, we're still open to that. Partner up on a cash flowing Subway series. But for us, it'd have to be more than one Subway. I told Mel a long time ago, I'd buy 10. If it was 10 Subways all put together, that's a big cash flow machine. I would love that because the cash flow, it would be extreme. Yes. And I would get a steep discount. I'd only be paying 2.5 times what it's going to make. So I'd make that money back within the first 3 years. Does that make sense? So for acquisition, there's a reason to buy a cash flow machine for cash flow. For your business, there's a reason to build and acquire and build and scale up tech companies that have infrastructure like real estate. Real estate is a great business because its assets continue to go up over time. The asset itself continues to go up, but the rents continue to go up as well. And again, if you've seen this in real estate, prices go up and to the right over time. We got markets where sometimes they go down for a little bit, but it always comes back. Every week we talk about an exercise that you can implement. This week, I want you to look deep at your business. I want you to look deep at your business. I want you to write this down. My business is, and write down what your business is. And for some of you, you got 2, 3, 4 businesses. No, you don't. You have one business. There's one that brings in all the money, and the other ones are your distractions. So you can just look at the other ones as your cute little distraction. There's one that's slamming in money. It might be a new one, or it might be an old one, but it's been slamming in money. It's the fire hose. That's your business. I know what you're thinking. Some of you have investments that you never considered. Like, wow, that brings in more money. Hence the camera, if you're looking at something right now in your head and you're like, that brings in more money than I thought it did. Or I never put that kind of valuation on it. Or it's a new investment, or it's an old investment. Yeah, that is your business. Look at that because you want more of it. You want more of that. You look at that business, and I want you to reach out to the people involved. Ask them how it can be improved. Ask them what you would pay more for. Like, what could I do to improve this? Whether it's our relationship, whether it's the product itself, whether it's the speed with which we do something, whether it's the quality with which we do something, maybe it's just the perception, the feeling with which something is done. What is it about your product? This is what you're seeking. What is it that could be improved? What could be made better? Notice the lighting here, right? I've adjusted my lighting. I've adjusted my background. I've made little improvements to the sound, the speaker that we use, the video camera that I use, little tweaks so it's more enjoyable to spend time with me. Hence the camera if you're having fun right now. You're enjoying this conversation we're having. Awesome. Excellent. Thank you. And I appreciate it as well. What else could be improved in that business, that big stream of income, that one that's just so easy for you? It's flowing money in. Ask the people directly related. Ask your clients. If you have direct clients, ask them. For a landlord, you may go to your tenants and say, hey, what would you pay more rent for? Don't be afraid to ask that question with that exact context. What if I made an improvement in this building or in your customer service, in your experience somehow, would you pay more rent for? Some may pay for a pet in the house. Some may pay to have their carpets redone. Some may pay to have new light bulbs installed or new fixtures installed, or have the utilities split from somebody else. There's a lot of different components that are happening in your business and your building that somebody would pay for if you just knew about it. Or maybe you've got a beat up hallway, and I'm going on real estate right now because we have situations like this. You got a beat up hallway that just needs paint, carpets, and new lighting. Would the tenants pay an extra $100 each for that? The answer is probably yes. Ask me how I know. All of our tenants have this year. We went through and we're doing our hallways to make them a better experience for everybody. So what can you do? Ask the question. Write down, what can I do to increase the quality or improve the quality of my product, to increase the cash flow? We're focused on increasing the money this week. Yes, I know each one of you is always improving your products. I know you. Right? I've hung out with you. We've been talking together on Alchemist Nation, or we've been at live events. We've done the 100 Millionaire Summit together. We've done Mission to Millions together. We've done Mastery together. Like, we spend a lot of time. You've messaged me. I've messaged you. We've liked each other's comments. I know you're always improving your product. And I know in many cases, you are your product, right? In many cases, you are what you're selling. You are what you're delivering to your clients, right? Realtors, service professionals, you are the product. So you're constantly improving yourselves. That's what we're doing right here. We're improving ourselves. We're becoming better. We're becoming more valuable human beings. That's what alchemy is all about, right? Transforming ourselves into a higher state so we can transform others into a higher state and give them bliss and abundance, taking them out of pain, sorrow, sufferings, and moving them into bliss, joy, abundance, giving them that experience from being with you, from just, touching you, alchemy, the Midas touch, right? Each one of you has that gift to give somebody a smile. And you've seen what happens when you give somebody a smile, that smile comes back, right? And if it doesn't, we don't hang out with that person anymore because because if you can't give back a smile, like, whoa, like what's going on? But you've seen this magic in your own life. What can you take into your business to improve your product? Sometimes it is just positioning. Sometimes it is just perception. Sometimes it's something fundamental, like the real estate business. Ron and I have been working very hard with Mark, our partner, on creating a CRM that adds value to everybody. A CRM, for anybody who doesn't know, is a customer relationship management software. This makes your best relationship scalable. Like everybody in our community gets a text from me. That's a personalized text from me that is scaled, so I'm not having to send it out, but it's scaled up so it goes out to 1,000 people, and the people who receive it now know that I contacted them. Imagine if you, and this, think about this, imagine if in your business every Friday you sent a text to somebody saying, hey, how are you doing? By the way, I haven't sent this text out, so just so you know, this is one you can use in your business. Every Friday, send out a text saying, how are you doing? Just checking in. How many responses back do you think you'd get? It'd probably be an 80% response rate. Ask Karen if that's true. Maybe it'd be higher, some of you, right? Especially the people you haven't talked to in a while. They're gonna be like, what is going on? Kim Rodriguez texting me right now? I'm doing awesome, or things are rough. Like, tell me about it. Let's talk. Spending that little extra time with a community that you're building for yourself. By the way, I'm imploring each one of you to take on this challenge. Find 100 people you care about enough to invite to the 100 Millionaire Summit or invite to this call. I invited all of my friends. You're all here. Right? I've invited a lot more friends that didn't make it, but I invited all the people I care about and said, hey, come here. If you don't get something from it, cool. But if you do get one thing from it, come back, share it with somebody else. Let's keep growing. Let's keep expanding what we're doing. You have the ability to spread some light to your people, and you don't have to share, you don't have to get them on a call, but maybe just share something you learned from the call. How powerful would it be if you just shared something and said, hey, look, I don't know if I'm selling the best product. Can you verify it with me? You get a deeper relationship with that person right now, instantly, because now you're trusting them with your business. You're showing them trust begets trust. So they're going to trust you with something else. Hence, Karen, if you're catching this, these are not tricks, my friends. These are truths. These are things that we forget. These are like simple little human connections that we forget. It's not manipulation of any kind. This is literally just being a decent human being and saying, I care about you. And as you scale it up, you're caring about more people. You do need systems. We're imperfect. We're not capable of doing these things without systems. And so Alchemist Leads, which we're probably doing a rebrand, probably calling it Alchemist Connect very soon, because that's really what it does. It does connect people with the people they want to spend more time with. Whether you're leveling your up, we're going to talk about a lot, leveling up the people you're hanging out with and get the money. That is today at 12 o'clock. Darina or Feli, do you mind dropping the link to get the money if somebody's interested? Answer Cam if you're interested in the link to get the money. If you want to know how to raise all the private capital, build those relationships, very cool. So Feli just dropped in the chat. That is today at 12 p.m. So you have a little bit of time to break, and then we're going to be back here in a different Zoom room. Won't be the same room. So you do have to go through, get the money. Tell me you don't like my hair. Tell me you don't like that I got all these powerful wristbands. Tell me that you don't like my beard, but don't tell me you don't got $97 to learn how to raise $1 million capital. Michael Shine. It's a special time of the Saturday. It's a special time of the day. Michael Shine is our holistic attorney. He is our keeper of the books. He is the closer. And this week, Mike, would you grace us with your rendition, your summary of the book of the week? Let's give Mike a round of applause.
Thank you. Walter. Nice to see everybody. Book of the week is this book. I don't know if you can see it, but it is Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. Thank you, Faley. That's awesome. Always puts it in now. That's an awesome feature. So as you all know, if you know anything about Grant Cardone, he's right in your face. This is an awesome book because it starts off by telling you that we're all selling something. You know, we all, whether we're in a relationship, whether we have a business, even with our kids, if we have kids, and in your face tells you exactly how to be a great salesperson and wipes away all those old fears that a lot of people have, that you're like a used car salesperson. Sorry if there's any used car salespeople on the call, but you know, he tells you that selling is actually the most important thing in the world. And if it's just a great book, if you just what Walter was talking about, you're trying to improve your business, you're trying to raise your ROI, all that good stuff. It all starts with selling. And this book goes through it in a simple, in your face, direct way. I highly recommend this book. I always highly recommend all 52. That's why we picked them. But again, this is a great book, especially if you feel you're not a salesperson. You know, I didn't go to law school to be a salesperson, but you quickly realize that you got to go sell or be sold, as Grant said. So yeah, it's a great book and I highly recommend it. Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. Thank you.
Give Michael Shine a round of applause. He is the keeper of the books, the holistic attorney, the closer. And I agree with you, Mike. I didn't go to real estate school to be a salesperson. I really thought I was going to real estate school to show houses just like they showed me. I had HGTV. I thought I was going to be out there slinging the contracts. Yeah, sure. Let's buy this one. You like it? And that was not what it turned out to be. It was like nobody knew me. Nobody wanted to work with me. And I had to go become a marketer. I had to go become a salesperson. By the way, I was an accountant. I was not good at selling myself on anything. I had low self-esteem. So forget selling other people. I had to sell me on the fact that I could be a salesperson. And then I had to sell me on the fact that I knew what I was doing in real estate. When I'd only ever bought 1, 2, 3 houses, I still didn't believe in myself. I owned 3 pieces of real estate. I still don't believe that I could be a great salesperson. I had to face all of those objections. And Grant Cardone's book, Sell or Be Sold, got me out of it. It started me thinking and realizing like, oh my God, like everything is sales. Why did my wife leave me? It's because I didn't sell her on staying. Or maybe it's because I sold her on leaving. I got, I look back at the subconscious mind back then. Maybe that was the reason I was selling myself on a wholly different lifestyle and she wasn't sold on. I didn't know how to sell her, right? When it came to Dorina, I sold Dorina on this. I sold Dorina on 100 Millionaires. I sold Dorina on this community. I said, Alchemist Nation, we're going to the top. We're going to change the world. We're going to make the world a better place. Alchemy, we're spreading it everywhere. Each one of you, every week, I use the tens of thousands of dollars in tens of thousands of, well, maybe not tens of thousands. Yeah, I'll say it. 10,000 hours at least that I've spent in sales to sell you on one thing, how you can become a millionaire. And then once you're a millionaire, how you can level somebody else up, right? 100 millionaires inspire to build 100 millionaires. I've spent years practicing the sales skills necessary to help somebody believe in themselves, help somebody achieve that next level. But the hardest part is not selling a product. Selling coaching is easy. Selling info technology is easy. Selling somebody on themselves, that it's possible for them to get to that next level that they're looking to accomplish, is the hardest work on the planet. But, and I know Mike's like, that's a terrible affirmation, but it is also the most rewarding work on the planet. When you really do get somebody to believe that what you're telling them is possible, that they could buy a piece of real estate, they could be a landlord or a landlady, that they could be collecting passive income, that they could one day be owning rooming houses or laundromats or online businesses, software as a service, that these things are possible, then suddenly they do it. Like all it takes is the belief. Once somebody has that belief, instantaneously things take action. Like Annie's a perfect example. Annie was like, well, I don't know if I can own real estate. But once she came through the program, we were like, yeah, maybe you could, maybe you should, maybe you should do it now. Bought a house, 3 family, boom, locked it down. In days of her believing, that was the secret. Because it wasn't like she'd been in real estate for a while, been thinking about it, doing it, but it was within days of her believing it was possible, really start putting in those offers, really like just said, yes, I'm going to close on this thing. And the believing doesn't stay, by the way, every day. Believing is like a muscle. You got to reactivate that thing. You got to work it out, right? Annie, before you close, like every day, you're like, can I still do this? Should I still do this? Is this possible? Even our millionaires, our multimillionaires who close on things all the time, occasionally are like, should I close on this? Is this the one? Right? We have a couple of our millionaires who partnered together on a deal this week, closed yesterday, the day before. And I guarantee you at multiple points, they're like, should I close on this? This is a no-brainer money-wise, but should I close on it? The belief is something that continuously has to be worked on. That's what we do at 52 Weeks to Wealth, is constantly to share some of the wins, some of the principles, some of the strategies so that you continue to believe that it's possible for you and stay in the fact that it's worth it. Because a lot of times, hands to camera, millionaires only. Hands to camera, if you've ever felt like, man, it's annoying. Sometimes you don't want to do the things that it takes to become successful. All in millionaires, where you at? Yeah. Sometimes you don't want to do it, right? Give our millionaires a round of applause. Thank God they do, because now it makes it possible for us. Like anybody who hasn't made that million, I know for me, before I'd become successful, I was looking at the guys and the gals who'd done it already, saying, well, if they could do it, I could do it, right? Like, thank God I'm bald. For anybody who has lost their hair or anybody who's got gaps in their teeth, thank God I have those flaws, because prior to, meeting the guy who was shorter than me, balder than me, like, had messed up teeth, like I didn't know it was possible for somebody not to be successful unless you look perfect. I really thought that sales was based on being, the Mitch Jorsky, being 6 feet tall, shaped like a Greek god, having the perfect beard and everything. It wasn't until I met somebody who was like totally unexceptional physically, who became successful, that I was like, wait, maybe I could. Why not? It wasn't until I hung out in the gym and started working out with these really buff guys that I was like, how'd you get there? And then they said, well, show up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I showed up and they started showing me the process. And until one of them said, you can do it too. You can look just like this. I was scrawnier than you when I started. That was the game changer for me. When my mentor said, this is one of my investors, man, that word hit me so hard, because I'd never been called an investor before. I'd thought one day I wanted to be one. I've read about investors, but when my mentor called me an investor in front of somebody else, it just like hit me that, oh my God, like I'm an investor. He thinks I'm an investor. That means maybe I am. I called him out. I was like, hey man, I've never bought before. And he said, well, you're buying right now, aren't you? And that's when it hit me. I am an investor. And that was what gave me the belief that I could close. It was him calling me an investor. It was him saying, you do this. This is what you do. You're an investor. We buy real estate. I wasn't an investor before I bought real estate. How did I buy the real estate? How did I evaluate the deal? How do I get the money? How did I go and put an offer in? I must have been investing prior to receiving the investment. This making sense. We're catching this. Share that with somebody. Why not? Reach out to somebody today and share with them that if they've been evaluating things, maybe jump on a call with them. Like, go out of your way, jump on a call with somebody. I'm on a call with you right now, so it wouldn't take much for you to jump on a call with somebody and say, what are your goals in investing? Ask them, and then find out what their goals are, and ask them when they're going to submit an offer. Ask them that powerful question: when are you going to submit an offer? When are you going to go put a deal together? Or if you're starting your business, when are you going to start that business? Maybe you start it with me. Why not? Why don't we partner together on this? And then ask them that one powerful question: did you know that you're an investor, or did you know that you're an entrepreneur? Because you've started this business, because you've got it going. And if money is the issue, if money is the thing stopping you, get the deal today. Get the money today. That's at 12 p.m. We're going to get that going. Again, the link is in the chat. This life is too much fun not to play at your highest. This life is too many options not to see what you're capable of. We take on challenges not because of the money anymore. We take on challenges simply to see what's possible. Hands the camera if you'd like to see what's possible for you. If there's a lot more than what you got right now. There's a lot more you're capable of. Hell yeah. Give yourselves a round of applause. Every Saturday, 52 Weeks to Wealth, we show up, we learn, we take actions. There's no point in being here if you're not going to go take actions, right? So this week, I want you to go take action on contacting somebody and finding out what is it that you could improve on your product. And now finding out is not enough. Remember, this is a two-step wealth principle. You've got to go and implement it. You've got to go and implement whatever that changes, whatever that improvement into your business is. We've been working very diligently on improving our products. I think there's one thing that you could do in your business right now and improve it. And the only way to find out is going to be to ask and reach out to people. So let's implement that. Next week's Wealth Principle 19. Be here early, especially if you're in the mentorship, you know when to show up. And if you're not in the mentorship, you might want to have a call with one of our specialists. Amy McNamara's on the call. Derek Neal's on the call. Set up a Calendly link with them. Find out about the mentorship. Hands to the camera if you'd be willing to give somebody a good testimonial if they were interested in jumping into this program. That's what we do here. Awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. I appreciate you guys. If we've treated you well, if we've done well so far, you're doubling your income, doubling your net worth, then we've done our job. Wealth Principle 19, be a world-class expert in your business. You're going to need, by the way, you need Wealth Principle 18 implemented in order to get to Wealth Principle 19. We're getting that. We see how these kind of work together. You need to implement it this week. I don't want to use the word need. You are going to, as soon as we hang up on this call, you're going to implement how this can be done. Text your team, put it into use, start committing to it, change your copy, whatever you have to do in your newsletters, implement it, because next week we're going to kick some serious butt. I'm making you the world-class expert in your business. This is a positioning conversation next week. Wealth Principle 19 is very powerful, and it is useless for that Wealth Principle 18. Let's give yourselves a round of applause for showing up, for being here. And at this point, I want to open it up to questions.